10 years ago, a Nazi detonated a bomb in a government building, killing 8 people and injuring more than 200 others. Next, the Nazi disguised himself as a policeman and took a ferry to an island youth camp. His fake cop uniform enabled the Nazi to enter the camp carrying a duffel bag full of semi-automatic rifles and hollow point ammunition. Unpacking these, the Nazis sprayed gunfire into a crowd of diverse teens and systematically assassinated campers as they ran or swam away. Then, the Nazis scoured the island, hunting for hiding people to execute. In 72 minutes, he murdered 55 teens and 14 adults and wounded 32 others. When the real police arrived, the Nazis surrendered. Courts found the Nazi guilty and assigned the toughest possible penalty. He's already served the minimum 10-year sentence, is already applying for parole, and will complete the maximum 21-year sentence in 2032. If the Nazi serves the full 21 years, he will have spent just 100 days in prison for every person he killed. He remains proud of his crimes, has vowed to do it again, and has apologized to fellow militant nationalists for not killing more. He'll be just 53 years old in 2032, easily young enough to do it again. A few years ago, the Nazis sued the prison, arguing that solitary confinement in a 3-room suite with TV and video games violates his human rights because he deserves better food and quality time with other white supremacists. Courts ruled in the Nazis' favor and ordered the government to pay him $41,000 for his suffering. The Nazi, however, will never pay fully for his crimes because he committed them in Norway, where both life imprisonment and the death penalty are illegal. Norway's restorative justice system is not designed to deal with massacres. The 2011 slaughter was Norway's only mass shooting since World War II because the country has sensible gun laws, equitable prosperity, and universal health care, including mental health support. Since 2012, annual gun deaths in Norway have ranged from 0 to 5, averaging less than 3 deaths per year. In the United States, by contrast, guns kill more than 40,000 Americans every year, and we average more than 400 mass shootings annually. This stems from lax gun laws, extreme racial injustice, shocking income inequality, and a scandalously expensive healthcare system that denies coverage to millions and fails systematically to address mental health needs. My bill won't solve any of those problems. Of course, I stand ready to support bills that effectively address the root causes of violent crime, but my bill today is designed merely to help our state punish mass murderers appropriately. In 2018, the state Supreme Court ruled Washington's current capital punishment statute unconstitutional, mostly because the law as written led to racially inequitable outcomes. The ruling means every murderer on death row back then will never have to face execution. It also means that anyone can now kill as many people as they want, and no, Washington state won't sentence them to death. We can change that by making a new non-racist capital punishment law. Past legislatures have failed to pass such a bill. We cannot afford to repeat their mistake. Overall, violent crime remains low in Washington state. We're just 31st out of 50 states when it comes to violent crime. But we rank 4th in mass shootings and 7th in serial killers. This underscores the urgency of putting the death penalty back on the table for evil men who commit multiple murders. The old unconstitutional aggravated first-degree murder law made capital punishment possible when the murderer had killed just one person. That old law granted prosecutors and judges wide discretion, which led to white convicts doing time for crimes that got black convicts executed. My bill sets a simple standard. Kill one person, get life in prison. Kill two or more, get the death penalty. Since serial killers and mass shooters are overwhelmingly white, it is very unlikely this bill could produce racially inequitable outcomes. Our state Supreme Court also complained that the old death penalty law led to long delays between sentencing and execution. So my bill expedites appeals and executions for convicted murderers to ensure timely justice for all. One evening, a few years ago, a black church welcomed a young white stranger. An hour into the Bible study, the white supremacist pulled a Glock and spewed racial slurs while spraying hollow point bullets into the minister and other worshipers, killing 9 and wounding 1 survivor. Because this happened in South Carolina, the white supremacist received the death sentence he deserves. It is only a matter of time before something like this happens in Washington state. We have more than our share of heavily armed white supremacists. When the next mass shooting comes, will you let the killer look forward to a long life in prison, watching TV, complaining about the food, enjoying quality time with other white supremacists? Or will you pass this bill to make sure mass killers in Washington state get the penalty they deserve? I yield the floor.